Good morning. Please be seated. I am Lorraine Frazier, and I have the honor of serving as Dean at the Columbia University School of Nursing. Our graduation ceremony is always an inspiring occasion, certainly for you graduates, but also the faculty and the staff and the administration. We're thrilled to gather here today in the historic setting of the Armory and to mark this significant rite of passage. Speaking of historic settings, I'd like to start by reading our school's Lenape statement. We acknowledge the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Lenape people on which we learn, work, and gather today at Columbia University School of Nursing. Lenape means real person or original person, and it is important to remember that the Lenape collectively are a living and breathing community. Let us honor their legacy. Let us commit ourselves to the struggle against forces that have dispossessed the Lenape and other indigenous people of their lands. We stand strong in our commitment to support and defend all marginalized people of this land who have been stripped of their rights of self-determination. Well, we are here today to celebrate this joyous occasion. But first, I want to acknowledge that this is an unusually difficult moment for higher education, including the great university that Columbia Nursing is a part of. I'm sure all of you are aware of the student demonstrations that have been taking place on Columbia's Morningside Heights campus, on all campuses across this country, in response to the conflict of the Middle East. I want those of you here today, the graduates, friends, families alike, to know that we recognize the distress and pain, the loss of lives abroad, and the significant upheaval in this country have caused. There may be different perspectives and opinions among our community, but in the midst of this turmoil, we at Columbia Nursing have taken solace and hope you will be able to as well in our shared mission to advance the health and well-being for all. Because that's what nurses do and have always done. We recognize everyone's humanity and serve them. So I would like to open this year's graduation ceremony by bringing us back to nurses' core visions and values of human dignity, integrity, autonomy, altruism, and social justice, which have always guided us as we navigate tumultuous times. And now, let us celebrate you, our graduates, as you prepare to carry these values with you as you go forth into the world. It gives me great pleasure on behalf of the faculty and the staff and the alumni of Columbia Nursing to welcome you, your friends, and your families to graduation. As you know, Columbia Nursing has a long tradition of leadership in the profession of nursing. The school was founded in 1892, meaning that you are joining an unbroken lineage of more than 132 years of distinction in this field. Certainly, a lot has changed in these recent years, from the political turmoil at home and abroad to the lingering effects of the pandemic. The world looks very different today than even a few years ago. Just imagine how much it's changed in society and in nursing since 1892. At the same time, however, there have been several constants in the profession of nursing. Most notably, given the times, our commitment to excellence, and our ability to adapt to change. We have needed to draw deeply on our bedrock values over the past several years, and it has become clear how vulnerable our society remains to pathogens of all sorts, whether microscopic viruses like COVID and measles, or monstrous scourges like racism and intolerance. Notably, nurses have been center stage as these and other issues have affected humanity all around the world. We have grappled with them as a profession, as a school, and as individuals. In turn, nurses have been hailed for their courage, for putting our lives on the line to help those in need, for delivering care without judging those we serve, and for compassion in the face of tragedy. This year, for the 23rd year in a row, nurses were ranked number 1 amongst all professions in the basis of honesty and ethics by the Gallup Poll organization. That enduring respect for nursing is something that each one of you graduates can take pride in, and even already take a little bit of credit for. Indeed, many of you here today as graduates made the choice to become a nurse at the height of the pandemic. You chose Columbia Nursing in New York City, the epicenter of the pandemic, at a very challenging and uncertain time to become a nurse. But challenging as that time was, it showed that you know what it means to be a nurse and to serve. Your presence here today is a testimony to your compassion and your commitment to nursing, to our profession. At the same time, we've been roiled by heightened awareness of the inequities and the disparities in healthcare and in healthcare education. And the challenges faced in and around the world, even in our own country, torn by strife. A commitment to social justice and health equity has always been in the DNA of nursing. But in recent years, we have redoubled our focus on addressing the systemic wrongs in society. This work clearly must be ongoing. We are devoted to continuing to educate ourselves and our students through a lens of social justice and health equity, to fostering a culture of inclusion, and to establishing pipeline programs that will increase diversity of the nursing workforce and those who teach nurses, and of course, those who care for our patients. But even as we've been navigating through these challenging times, we have continued to excel as a national leader in nursing research and advancing patient care. Our focus on nursing research and discovery is nothing new. We were also the first school in nursing in the nation to require that every faculty member engage in some sort of scholarly activity. But our standing in the world of nursing research has reached new heights. In fiscal year 2022 and 2023, we ranked number 1 in research funding from the National Institutes of Health from all U.S. nursing programs across the country. And this, of course, through ongoing research, discovery, and innovation, and influence, we are able to continually improve the health of individuals, families, and communities we care for, no matter what circumstances arise in our career, in our lives. Indeed, our own careers will surely evolve. Your careers will surely evolve. But the current nursing shortage will require innovative ways of delivering care. By 2025, it is estimated that the U.S. will have a nursing shortage of 250,000 to 400,000 nurses nationwide. The demand for nurses specializing in mental health care is especially acute. That means you all are entering nursing at a crucial time. Your Columbia degree will open doors for you to become leaders in the profession of nursing, and we are counting on you to do so. I am confident that the collective voice of nursing will not just continue to be heard, but will be accorded a never more influence. That our expertise and leadership will be sought out and will be celebrated for generations to come. It is indeed an exceptional and a very important time to be a nurse, now more than ever. So today, we celebrate this career milestone for you graduates. I want to acknowledge your contributions to our profession and our school, your adaptability, your unwavering devotion to nursing. I am moved by the resilience and the commitment you have demonstrated as we work through one challenge after another. As you have learned, the resilience of nursing is remarkable. And as we see brighter days ahead, and my hope was that you'll continue to recognize and to continue to the growing prominence of our profession, that you will be empowered to share your voice, that you will exercise leadership using the unprecedented platform that nursing now has in whatever path you choose, whether it's in your communities, your institutions, your practice, or even if you choose in government service. I feel great pride and anticipation as you prepare to take your place in the healthcare system and to use your expertise to strengthen our society and the health of the populace. Your success is a reflection of your intellect, your perseverance, your passion for nursing. And I would like to express my admiration for the members of our faculty who have mentored you and helped prepare you to enter the nursing profession as clinicians, scholars, educators, and leaders. And finally, I would like to acknowledge all the family members and friends who supported you on your way to Columbia and who sustained you while you were here. Congratulations. You know, when you began your journey at Columbia, your faculty represented your future, and now you represent our future. Congratulations again. Okay. It is my great pleasure now to introduce Dr. Katrina Armstrong. She is the Dean of Columbia's Faculties of Health Sciences and Medicine, Columbia University's Executive Vice President for Health and Biomedical Sciences, the holder of the university's endowed Harold and Margaret Hatch Professorship, and the CEO of Columbia University Irving Medical Center. Dr. Armstrong joined Columbia from Harvard and Massachusetts General Hospital in 2022 and is the first woman to lead Columbia Medical School and Health Science Center. She is a distinguished physician, researcher, and educator, and a great friend of nursing. Central to all her work has been a commitment in educating, recruiting, and retaining diverse talent across all areas of the Health Science Center. We're privileged to have her here today, and I'm delighted to welcome her to the podium to share her greetings with you.
Okay, I'm going off script for a second. You all look panicked. Look happy. You're graduating. Come on. Woo! This is such a great day for you and particularly for your families. I just want you all to know how excited I am to be here with you, how excited we are for what you have accomplished and what you're going to do. I think, as you know, we come here today to celebrate your achievements and to welcome you as colleagues in our collective journey to improve the health of the patients and the communities who we all serve. It's such a gift to be here in Washington Heights this morning on this really beautiful day to celebrate you and that mission. Of course, as Dean Fraser says, while I am sure many deans have said similar things over the centuries, it's hard to imagine a more dramatic or tumultuous time that you all have completed your degree. Just 4 years ago, every aspect of our work was transformed by COVID-19. Our clinical activities changed overnight to care for patients with an unknown and initially untreatable illness. Our educational programs scrambled to reinvent curricula online and to understand when we could come together in in-person activities. And much of our research stopped, shut down overnight, with experiments halted and projects put on hold. And of course, just as we are now emerging from that pandemic, the global conflict and the heartbreaking loss of Palestinian and Israeli lives has shaken the world and many parts of our campus. I think for us in the healing professions, the hardest thing has been seeing the loss of a sense of safety for so many, perhaps even more than during the height of the pandemic. And perhaps it's been even harder to pin down the strategies that we can use to restore that sense. Sometimes I know for all of us, it feels like the very foundation on which we are building our professions is shaking. But I come here today because even as we recognize those challenges and the work that we have ahead, I believe that these last years, these challenges, fundamentally reaffirm the truths that underlie health and healthcare and underlie the field of nursing and what you have done and will do as we move forward. As Dean Fraser, those truths include the inequity and injustice faced by so many, but they also include the power of collaboration and teamwork, the power of healing and humanity, and maybe most importantly today, they include the truth about the critical importance of nursing, what nursing means to the health of our patients and our communities, what it means to our mission as healers, what it means to the world. If you look at any community across the globe, no matter where it is, no matter what it is facing, the healthcare professional that makes everything happen is the nurse. You are at the bedside delivering comfort and care. You're in our communities educating and building trust with our patients. Your role, whether as a clinical nurse, a researcher, a teacher, or a leader, is the fundamental building block of everything we do as health professionals, as healers. This class is our future. It represents the remarkable depth and breadth of the nursing profession, a profession that has never been more important. You are healers, you are communicators, you are advocates, and you are leaders. Today, as I come with you, I couldn't be more proud to celebrate your graduation. So congratulations again. Thank you so much for letting me be part of welcoming you to the healthcare team. Know that Columbia will forever be your home. We're so proud of you and look forward to following your careers. Please take care today. Thank you.
It is my great pleasure to introduce Anne Elizabeth Kurth, who will receive the Second Century Award. Dr. Kurth, would you please join me at the podium? Since 1991, we have presented this award to individuals who portray excellence in advancing health and well-being of all of our citizens. Dr. Kurth became president of the New York Academy of Medicine in January 1st, 2023. She's the first nurse and first non-physician to lead that eminent institution. Building on and there you go. Absolutely, absolutely. Building on and leveraging the academic's accomplishments and legacy as a leading organization for medicine and public health, Dr. Kurth is focused on changing the equitable systems to improve health for all. As a leader in higher education and public health, she shares the New York Academy of Medicine's commitment to health equity. She joined the Academy from Yale University, where she served as the Dean and Linda Koch Lorimer Professor of at Yale School of Nursing and Professor of Epidemiology of Microbial Diseases at Yale School of Public Health. That's a mouthful. As an epidemiologist and certified nurse midwife, Dr. Kurth brings an interdisciplinary perspective to addressing health challenges. Her research concentrates on HIV, reproductive health, and strengthening the global health system in the context of pandemics, climate change, and other stresses that disproportionately affect marginalized populations. Her work has been funded by the National Institutes of Health, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, UNAIDS, and the Center for Disease Control for National and International Studies. She has published prolifically and presented at hundreds of scientific conferences and invited talks. Dr. Kurth, for your inspired leadership, innovative thinking, and advancing public health research and policy, you were chosen as this year's recipient of the Second Century for Health and Excellence in Healthcare, and I am honored that you're able to join us here today. Yeah.
Thank you. Dean Fraser, Dean Armstrong, dedicated faculty, rightly proud families and friends, committed staff, and distinguished guests. It is really an honor to stand here today feeling the energy of this dynamic community that's nurtured this amazing cohort of 2024. You each made the trek to today, having to persevere, to expand, to remember, and to affirm why you set out to become a nurse, a Columbia nurse, and you did it. We love Commencement Day because it gives us an opportunity to savor the idiosyncratic path that each of you came to come to today. But it also allows us to anticipate the unknown and therefore open vista, stretching ahead. It delivers to us a moment in time to celebrate, to honor, to take joy in both this real accomplishment and the possibilities ahead. And those possibilities in this first quarter of the 21st century are immense. In the relatively brief years in which you were educated here at Columbia, you've faced COVID, the human and societal costs of health inequities, and increasing impacts of climate change. Decades ago, when I was a Columbia nursing student and public health student, it was the HIV pandemic that was devastating New York City, including here in Washington Heights. This armory in which we're sitting today, actually, across from which we took clinicals in our classes, was at the time the largest men's shelter in the city. Today, it's still nurses who are on the front lines of addressing structural determinants of health, such as access to housing, as well as access to clinical services. It's nurses who remain a core of care teams around the globe, partnering with communities to advance prevention, treatment, and innovative practice, to make the corner of the world in which we get the privilege to connect with another human being a little better. And that's what we aim to do as nurses, if what we can do can be summarized so simply. We want the world to be better, and we work towards that with pragmatism, partnership, positivity. It's core to our profession. There's always something that can be done, whether we agree on every specific strategy or not, to try to alleviate suffering, prevent disease, support the body, mind, and spirit of all who need it. And that's all of us at different times of life. As we stand on this threshold of your professional journey forward, it's important to acknowledge how expansive the horizon is that awaits you. The world of the 21st century literally needs nursing because the planet itself needs healing. The challenges are large, as with climate change, and therefore we are called to answer. The health landscape must evolve to meet urgent needs using all the current and coming technical tools in a framework of human-centered connection. In short, the science and the art of nursing. This need for transformation offers you the opportunity not just to participate in the healthcare system, but as APRNs, nurse scientists, and doctors of nursing practice to help lead its evolution. Consider advances in telehealth with its potential to make healthcare more accessible for remote and structurally underserved populations. As nurses, we need to be not only clinically skilled, but also capable of navigating these new platforms to effectively deliver compassionate, competent care. If artificial intelligence, for example, is to be used as a force for good in healthcare, it's nurses who must help define how we incorporate it in our work to enhance human interaction, rather than to restrict or diminish it. The challenges we face today, from global pandemics to health disparities to better management of chronic diseases, including mental health, require innovative thinking. They require a commitment to population health that goes beyond hospital walls. As graduates of the Columbia School of Nursing, you're positioned to meet these challenges head-on, as you already have, bolstered by your superb education, your empathy, and your expertise. Whether in direct patient care, healthcare policy, research, or entrepreneurial ventures within the healthcare sector, your skills and energy are invaluable. You're entering the field at a time when the contribution of nursing is more crucial than ever. You have the power to shape not just your own career, but the future of healthcare itself. I believe deeply that nurses represent an irrepressible, positive force for change. And I can believe that because of graduates like you. As you look to these opportunities, you must simultaneously brace for the challenges that are inherent in our ever-changing field. The healthcare landscape, as we know, it's fraught with complexities that require not only our clinical attention, but our concerted commitment. One of the most pressing challenges is the growing burden of non-communicable diseases worldwide, which will be exacerbated by the stresses brought by climate change. You will need to be at the forefront of researching, managing, and designing models of care for conditions that require long-term support. Here at Columbia, you've been equipped to lead efforts in primary and preventive care, pivotal areas that can transform outcomes across the life course. You can help people live both longer and healthier lives, expanding a better health span for all. From birth justice through to healthy aging, nursing is a trusted profession to support people's life journeys, to support their physical and mental health. And that mental health crisis became clearer during COVID, and we see it playing out across all life stages, including with young people. So it's an urgent area for compassionate intervention. You've been educated to offer holistic care, which views each client as a whole person, not a diagnosis. This approach is crucial as we must integrate mental health and wellness approaches more deeply into all health settings across all ages and stages of life. We also face ongoing threats of infectious diseases, highlighted by recent global health emergencies we've all lived through. As nurses, we must be prepared to help respond effectively to these crises, not just by treating affected individuals, but by contributing to large-scale public health solutions that can prevent future outbreaks. In fact, the WHO has just finalized the world's first pandemic agreement that may be ratified here in New York City at the end of this month. So this is an example of how we can learn from experiences like COVID to do better with the next crisis. And always, we must address the challenge of health equity. Disparities in healthcare access and outcomes continue to persist, and tackling this will require cross-sectoral collaboration and commitment. Nursing's mandate is to strive to ensure that everyone receives the care they need. Embrace this responsibility with courage and compassion, and let your actions be guided by the principle that health is a right for all. Our 21st century challenges are significant, make no mistake, but they are not insurmountable. With your education, your empathy, your energy, and your expertise, you're prepared to meet them. Embrace the opportunities to learn a new perspective, to innovate, and to improve the lives of all those you serve. As we envision a better future of healthcare, we can't overlook potentially seismic shifts occurring due to advancements in technology, including in AI. And you have some of the leaders in nursing science for AI here. The integration of AI into healthcare increasingly will affect how we diagnose, treat, and track diseases. As such, there's an imperative for lifelong learning to continually update our practice to ensure that AI and other tools are used ethically. As APRNs and nursing thought leaders, you are uniquely positioned to contribute to this discourse. We must help ensure that technology remains anchored in principles of compassionate, equitable, and person-centered care. Embrace lifelong learning as an opportunity to grow personally and professionally. The only constant in health, as in life, is change. Your ability to adapt through learning will only enhance your career and improve the lives of those you serve. In the midst of all these opportunities and challenges and the relentless pace of technological innovation, it's imperative that we don't lose track and sight of the essence of nursing, the human connection. As nurses, your ability to touch lives goes beyond the boundaries of clinical science and technology. It's you, your empathy, your presence that often can provide healing. That human connection, this is what patients recall. The comfort you offer in moments of vulnerability, the hand squeeze, the commitment in your tone, not just your words. Nurture and cultivate these human interactions. They are the core of our profession, the heart of our health. Balancing this dedication with the demands of personal well-being, though, is equally crucial. The work of nursing is intensely rewarding, but it also can be physically and emotionally taxing. Take care of yourselves with the same diligence, grace, and kindness that you extend to your clients. Establish routines that nurture your physical, mental, and emotional health. Maintain connections with family and friends. Pursue life outside of work. Allow yourself moments of pure rest and reflection. This balance is not just a superficial goal, it's essential. It sustains your ability to care for others and enriches your own life. You are precious to the people whose health you support, to everyone in this room, and to our profession. Your journey ahead as APRNs, scientists, and health system leaders is not just about addressing illness, but about fostering wellness, not just about applying knowledge, but expanding it. Not just about filling trusted roles, but about touching lives. Carry forward this understanding, let it illuminate your path in every interaction, every professional decision, and every endeavor. You are needed for the health of people and of the planet, and we're so proud of you today. Congratulations, class of '24.
I hope you heard that. Take care of yourselves, please. Okay. Dr. Felicia Bowen, a pediatric nurse practitioner, nurse scientist, and decorated Army veteran, has made significant and sustained nursing contributions in pediatric asthma, trauma, and health equity. She earned a Bachelor of Science from Tuskegee University in Alabama, and a Master's of Science in Nursing from Rutgers University. After 15 years of military service, she earned a Doctorate of Philosophy from Columbia University School of Nursing and a Doctorate of Nursing Practice from Fairleigh Dickinson University. In 2019, she was inducted as a fellow in the American Academy of Nursing, which recognized her as an international expert in pediatric asthma, racism, and health disparities. Dr. Bowen was the recipient of our 2022 Distinguished Alumni Award for a distinguished career in nursing. Dr. Bowen is a member of our Board of Advisors and is currently the Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the University of Alabama in Birmingham. I'm thrilled she is joining us as our 2024 Alumni Association speaker. Please join me in welcoming her.
I'm a little short. There we go. So good morning, Dean Frazier, faculty and staff colleagues, family, friends, and a big hearty good morning and congratulations to my new colleagues, these amazing Columbia University School of Nursing graduates. I'm Felicia Bowen, the Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, Inclusion at the University of Alabama at Birmingham School of Nursing. I am President-elect of the National Association of Pediatric Nurse Practitioners and a Fellow of the American Academy of Nursing, and I have the honor and privilege of being the first to welcome you to a very special group of people. The Columbia University School of Nursing Alumni Association. This is a group of talented and accomplished nurses who love their alma mater and support the current students, the dean, and the faculty. For some of you, this graduation will be the first of many in your nursing career. Remember, learning is lifelong. Let Columbia University School of Nursing be your education home, a place to return for continuing your education, certifications, and degrees to advance your career. For others, you may be like me. Columbia University School of Nursing is where I earned my terminal degree. My point is that regardless of whether this is your first, second, third, or more degree, each accomplishment is special. Savor this moment. When I think back on my time at Columbia University School of Nursing, I'll be quite honest, it was no joke. I'm sure many of you can attest to this. Long days in the city, learning from some of the best nurses and nurse scientists in the nation, many of whom are internationally renowned. Also learning to care for patients in some of the best clinical settings in the nation. I was challenged. I learned to defend my thoughts. I have never regretted my decision to attend Columbia University because my education prepared me for the career success that has followed. Now, notice I said education and not degree. You could have gotten a nursing degree from any school of nursing, but no other program in the country offers the caliber of nursing education that Columbia University does. The profession of nursing, yeah, somebody want to clap? Clap. It's true. You know, the profession of nursing is so much different than when I first began my career. Diseases that were once considered a death sentence are now chronic disorders. Surgical procedures that required patients to stay in the hospital for days or even weeks are done with robotics. In outpatient facilities, and patients go home the same or next day. The typical ICU patient is now the typical medical surgical patient. Children who would never have gone to kindergarten are living quality lives well into their adult years. We had pens that had red, blue, and green ink all in the same time. And we, and we used those to chart our patient conditions throughout the day. Now there are computers in the patient's rooms, and some patients have implanted devices that send vital information about their status to their providers in real time. Healthcare is evolving, and you must continue to evolve and stay abreast of the latest technology. Don't be afraid of AI or other innovation. They're here to stay. Be that nurse who figures out how to harness the power of this technology to improve patient outcomes and the health and well-being of other nurses. Shh. I want you to feel this moment. Do you feel that excitement that you have right now? Why did you become a nurse, an advanced practice nurse, a midwife, a nurse leader, or scientist? Let your why be your joy, because there will be days when you are challenged by patients, their families, and yes, sometimes your colleagues. That's the reality. Nursing isn't a nirvana. There are going to be times that when you try your hardest, the outcome is still going to be sad. Remember your joy. Nurses get so wrapped up into caring for others, we forget to take care of ourselves. It's okay to put yourself first. You can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself, physically and mentally. Set some healthy boundaries. When you leave work, you are not at work. Unit staffing problems, they're not your problems. That's for administration to figure out. Sure, you can help out with an extra shift here or there, but not to the detriment of your health or your relationships. This is where Columbia University School of Nursing Alumni Association can be of value to you. You're also automatically a member of the larger Columbia University Alumni Association, and there are a lot of benefits, so I urge you to check out that website. However, as a member of the Nursing Alumni Association, you'll have access to accomplished nurse practitioners, leaders of health systems, leaders in federal agencies, world-renowned scientists, educators, entrepreneurs, and the list goes on. Just reach out. Let us know what you need. Please stay connected. We want to hear about all of the wonderful things that you're doing. Please send us announcements, weddings, babies. Let us know about your promotions and other honorifics, because we're proud of our alumnus. Nominate your colleagues for an alumni award. Each year, we have calls for nominations to celebrate the awesome work of our alumni. If you feel you need a change of pace, check out the jobs board. It's on the alumni website. You were not educated to be complacent. You were educated to lead and to make a difference in this world. When you have done all that you can where you are, ask an alumnus where your talent is needed next. To my fellow APNs, we need competent preceptors. Think about paying it forward. Once you're settled in your practice, give us a call and let us know when you're ready to precept a student. Come back at reunion, especially if you're in the tri-state area. It's always so much fun to see your classmates and your faculty. One of my favorite parts of reunion is interacting with the current students. Lastly, I want to remind you to give. Many of you made it through to today because you had some financial assistance. That assistance came from alumni who care about the success of the school and the students, and they give. There's no such thing as a gift too small. Remember your alma mater, your student experience, and give back. And as your career grows, consider growing your gift. And so, once again, friends, congratulations and welcome to the Columbia University School of Nursing Alumni Association.
It's my distinct honor to present the awards, the student awards for the graduates. And if you hear your name, please come up. The Dissertation Excellence Award is presented to the faculty for by the faculty for distinguished doctoral student research. The recipient is
Kylie Kelleher Doherty.
The Anna C. Maxwell Award is presented to a graduate of the Adult Gerontology, Family, or Pediatric Primary Care Nurse Practitioner program who exhibits compassion, competence, and commitment to the provision of the highest quality primary care. The first recipient is from the Pediatric Primary Care Nurse Practitioner program, and the recipient is
Morgan Krolikowski.
She won't be joining us today, unfortunately. The second recipient is from the Family Nurse Practitioner, and the recipient is
Bella O'Neill.
The Ann Penlin Award is presented to an outstanding graduate of the Nurse Anesthesia or Adult Gerontology Acute Care Nurse Practitioner program who best demonstrates the qualities of academic excellence, clinical proficiency, and empathy for patients. This year's recipient is from the Adult Gerontology Acute Care program, and the recipient is
Mobolaji Odewole.
who we all know as Moby. The Mary Dickey Lindsay Award is given to a nurse midwifery graduate who best exemplifies leadership qualities that would promote midwifery diversity and access to midwifery care for all women. This year's recipient is
Maya Guillory.
Someone's surprised. The Mary Leaker Simmons Award is presented to the graduate who demonstrates competence and devotion to the mental health needs of patients. This year's recipient is
Lex Constantinidis.
The Faculty Award for Professional Excellence in a Subspecialty is given to a student who best exemplifies professional competence, capacity for leadership, and compassion for patients. This year's recipient is from the Oncology Subspecialty, and the recipient is
Melissa Leo.
The Mary Masterson Germain Award is presented to a graduate of the Advanced Clinical Management and Leadership Program who demonstrates academic excellence, capacity for leadership, and dedication to the highest possible care for patients and families. This year's recipient is
Sidali Elizabeth Hicks.
Take your time, take your time. This is your moment in the sun. The Margaret Elliott Award is presented to a graduating nursing student who best demonstrates professional competence, capacity for leadership, and wholehearted compassion for patients. We have two awards for this two awards. The first recipient is
Ariel Powell.
The second recipient is
Cynthia Tianco Withers.
the Alpha Zeta chapter of Sigma, the International Honor Society for Nursing, honors the graduating student who best exemplifies the principles of Sigma: leadership, scholarship, and community service. This year's recipient is
Daniela Topol.
The Campbell Award is presented to by the Columbia Alumni Association to a graduating student at each school who shows exceptional leadership and Columbia spirit, as exemplified by Bill Campbell, who's a graduate and Chair Emeritus, University Trustees, and an alumni co-founder. This year's recipient is
Ian William West.
Let's hear a round of applause for all of these amazing, accomplished students. Congratulations to you all. I'd like now to ask the student speaker to join me at the podium. Judith Hilder Gill, pronoun she, her, was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, and is a first-generation student. She pursued an undergraduate degree in anthropology and a Master of Science in psychology before applying to Columbia University School of Nursing. Judith has a multifaceted background, having started her career in higher education, startups, learning and development, and algorithmic bias. She enjoys reading historical fiction in her spare time, as well as traveling with her daughter. As a nurse, Judith hopes to work in labor and delivery, continuing her education in midwifery and providing at-home births and culturally competent care for Black and immigrant women. Please welcome your 2024 student speaker.
Good morning, esteemed faculty, distinguished guests, proud families, and most importantly, the remarkable graduates of Columbia University School of Nursing. As we gather here today, ready to embark on the next chapter of our lives, I am filled with a sense of profound gratitude and reflection. Our journey at Columbia Nursing has been nothing short of transformative. And as we stand on the cusp of graduation, it's essential to pause and acknowledge the significance of this moment. As you sit here, poised to step into your new roles as nurses, you carry with you the knowledge and skills honed through dedication and accomplished something extraordinary. You've successfully navigated through challenging concept maps and exams, clinical rotations. Some of you completed over 1,000 practicum hours, while others undertook significant research projects, going through the feedback and revisions loop of the PhD world. Beyond the exams and the clinical rotations, it is the intangible lessons that have left an indelible mark on our hearts. For me, the journey has been one of resilience and determination. As a single mother, I have faced numerous challenges to balance the demands of motherhood with the rigors of nursing school. In fact, I had to live in family members' homes with my child in order to afford the resources and time necessary to pursue my dream. But through it all, I persevered, driven by my unwavering passion for nursing and my desire to make a difference in the lives of others, a passion I know we all share. My journey through the healthcare cycle has been multifaceted, from being a patient myself due to kidney disease, to caring for my child who battled Hirschsprung's disease, and now as a future nurse, standing poised to care for those who entrust their health to my hands. These experiences have not only shaped my perspective, but have reinforced my conviction that nursing is the most rewarding career one can pursue. I know y'all agree with me. I hold space for those of us who are the first in our family to graduate college. Or to pursue our dream. I hold space for the global majority, for the oppressed and the revolutionaries. Our mere existence is an act of rebellion against systems we must change. And as a Latina and a Black woman, it is worth mentioning, we hold a unique capacity, experience, and expertise to advocate. Let's use it. I trust the education I've received here, and I'm confident that each of us is equipped with the knowledge, skills, and passion to make a profound impact in the world of nursing. If I were to envision any nurse by my side as I undergo treatment, or as my child undergoes treatment, it would undoubtedly be one of you. Your dedication, compassion, and unwavering commitment to excellence are qualities that will be forever etched in my mind. Sorry, guys. As we celebrate this momentous occasion, let us take a moment to express our gratitude to those who have supported us along the way. Our families, our friends, and our dedicated faculty who have guided us with wisdom and compassion. I want to go off script for a moment and thank my mother, who gave me the privilege of seeing excellence when she, as an immigrant mother of two, graduated with a double master's with honors. If I am excellent, it's because of her. I leave you with these words from Maya Angelou. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter those defeats so that you know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. Graduates, our future as Columbia nurses is bright, and I cannot wait to see the incredible impact we will make on the world. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Well, now we're going to recognize our 2024 graduates. This is what we're here for. We start with our doctoral programs. Dr. Maureen George will present the PhD graduates. Dr. Susan Doyle Lindrad will present the DNP graduates.
The PhD is the terminal degree for research training. And research is the systematic investigation designed to develop and contribute to generalizable knowledge. Nurse scientists generate this new knowledge from a unique nursing perspective, one focused on healthcare delivery, or on the understanding of patients, families, communities, populations' experiences with health and illness, or on their response to targeted interventions. Florence Nightingale's work during the Crimean War brought nursing science to the forefront, and then for the next 100 years, the medical establishment and others scoffed at the idea that nurses could contribute to be the drivers of research and innovation. But here at Columbia, we are clearly that. Ranked first among schools of nursing and National Institutes of Health funding, it's little wonder that the best and brightest Columbia nursing faculty attract the best and brightest students. And our newest nurse scientists are no exception. It's now my great honor to invite our doctors of philosophy to the stage to be hooded by their mentors. I'll be announcing their mentors and their dissertation work, and I now ask the PhD faculty to rise.
Chung-Ah Chloe Kang.
Advisor, Dr. Patricia Stone, dissertation title, Health Disparities in Timely Goals of Care Discussions and Hospitalizations Due to Infections in Nursing Home Residents.
Sarah Irene Leonard.
Advisors, Dr. Jean Marie Bruzzese and Dr. Casey Jackman, for dissertation, Weight Discrimination, Intersectional Oppression, and Mental and Emotional Health of Sexual and Gender Minority People.
Amy Laura McMenamin.
Advisor, Dr. Lucine Bokosian, for the dissertation, Supporting the Nurse Practitioner Workforce in Primary Care Practices to Care for Patients with Multiple Chronic Conditions.
Danielle Sharp.
Advisor, Dr. Maxime Topaz. Dissertation, Leveraging Natural Language Processing to Identify Risk for Hospitalizations Among Older Adult Home Healthcare Patients with Urinary Incontinence.
Brittany Taylor.
Advisors Dr. Ruth Masterson-Krieber and Dr. Jackie Taylor, dissertation titled Predicting Depression in Black Women, a Machine Learning Epigenetic Approach. Please join me in congratulating all of our PhD graduates.
It is my honor to present the graduates of our DNP program. We will begin with the Adult Gerontology Acute Care Nurse Practitioner graduates, who will be hooded by Dr. Danielle Zuma or Dr. Leon Chen. Will they please come forward? And the Adult Gerontology Acute Care Nurse Practitioner faculty, please rise.
Maria Antonina Baldoviso Alas. Michael Ballard. Kelly Chu. Laura Sivaluk Gaffney. Carme Madeline Hung. Amy Junis Ho. Meng Lu. Carolyn Poi Kao Ma. Kyle Patrick Meinert. Sean Eric Meinert. Melanie Mendoza Aguilar. Avra Massey. Valerie Ain. Holly Waddell Norman. Mobalaji Odewole. Carrie Helen O'Rourke. Athena E.V. Pham. Hannah Samley. Casey Santana. Hakeem O. Shula. Angela Brianna Simpson. Charles Richard Spears. Derek Tam. Nani Tran. Stephanie Claire Wang. Catherine Winnie Adriana Wen.
Please join me in congratulating the Adult Gerontology Acute Care Nurse Practitioner graduates. I will now present our one Adult Gerontology Primary Care Nurse Practitioner graduate, who I have the honor of hooding.
Bianca Bucci.
I will now present the Family Nurse Practitioner graduates, who will be hooded by Dr. Alun Tark or Dr. Ellen Fahey. Will they please come forward, and will the Family Nurse Practitioner faculty please rise?
Dionysia Anthe Caviras. Sharon Lucia Chen. Alicia Yunji Chung. Sasha Danilina. Alexis Devins. Verena Ebel. Laura Emery. Jasmine Ham. Melissa A. Hart. Joseph Daniel Herman. Ashley Eunhae Kim. Min Jung Kim. Veronica Wenhui Kwong. Stacy Ladish. Ye-Wan Lee. Elise Manzanillo. Kimia Mirabasade. Samantha Morton. Bella O'Neill. Jacqueline Palomares. Molly Parker. Rachel Joy Saknovitz. Effie Diston Schillen. Liliana Sophia Celebi. Yael Nisanov Simpser. Avital Swissa. Victoria Sultanbayev. Robert Daniel Talley. Jaspreet Singh Wadhwa. Leanna Way. Shirley Sue. Anissa Yasin.
Please join me in congratulating the Family Nurse Practitioner graduates. I will now present the midwifery graduates who will be hooded by Dr. Pratisha Harishand. Will you come forward, and will the midwifery faculty please rise?
Amy Akers. Samantha Allman. Jasmina Fanini. Maya Guillory. Aviva Hirsch. Sedona Kolchinsky. Madeline Claire Malot. Molly Jean Morgan. Chelsea Marie Okorafor. Sophia Lou Rosenberg Kleinberg. Niara Hope Russell. Jacob Thaddeus Stipek.
Please join me in congratulating the midwifery graduates. I will now present the pediatric primary care nurse practitioner graduates who will be hooded by Dr. Sabrina Opiola-Macaulay, Dr. Claire McKegney, or Dr. Deanna Schneider. Will they please come forward?
Naja Boyd. Chelsea Caressa Monique Burrell. Talita Campos. Daniela Curry. Neve Mary Curley. Stephanie Monica Gioeli. Catherine Kim. Kuni Ku. Ruth Essie Nyakwa. Angeline Pan. Rosie Rodriguez. Madeline Sankar Singh. Sarah Sankfor. Danielle Faye Serpos. Sally Tan. Sophia Vetri. Gabrielle Villali. Jamie Marie Wells.
Please join me in congratulating the pediatric primary care nurse practitioner graduates. I will now present the psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner graduates who will be hooded by Dr. Letitia Hansen. Will they come forward, and will the psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner faculty please rise?
Rebecca Baskin. Sarah Isabel Teven Carmody. Megan Ashley Carroll. Chantel Cephas. Lex Constantinidis. Ilona Kreiner. Brittany Lane Daniel. Colin Taylor Demerit. Jency Alexa Desir. Esme Marguerite Douglas. Lily Ann Kurtz. Melissa Leo. Lyle Puri. Georgia Martin. Megan McWiggin. Nubia Mendoza. Nina Sahar Mirzakashani. Mackenzie Brooklyn Nava. Melissa Grace Perniciaro. Mary Vixie Quinteros. Sydney Shaw. Michelle Sklar. Basha Tropper. Sarah Vance. Ana Rosa Vasquez. Ryan Quinn Walker. Ian William West. Zuqian Yan.
Please join me in congratulating the psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner graduates. And let's give one final round of applause for all of the DNP graduates.
And now we will present the graduates for the Masters of Science degrees. Dr. Heidi Heinz-Schroeder will present the graduates for Advanced Clinical Management and Leadership program, and then the Master's Direct Entry program.
It is my honor to present the graduates of the Advanced Clinical Management and Leadership program. Will the Advanced Clinical Management and Leadership faculty please rise?
Michael Abelos. Mary Achampong. Nicole Marie Cribben. Nicholas Hugo Forlini. Jacqueline Guerra. Sideli Elizabeth Hicks. Caitlin Lucky. Christina Machuca. Whitney Elizabeth Matheson. Lindsay Malillo. Megan Mogay. Joel Molina. Emily Nova. Santini Ong. Amy Y. Park. Sibersad Rampersad. Sharifa Akela Shorter. Amy Beth Staley. Aaron Testerman Mitra. Song Hee Woo.
Please join me in congratulating the Advanced Clinical Management and Leadership graduates. It is now my pleasure and honor to present the graduates of the Master's Direct Entry program. Will the Master's Direct Entry faculty please rise?
Lindsay Elizabeth Al-Qaidi. Cassandra Sophia Amon. Christina Nilovar Amini. Rachel Ahn. Angelica Avila Guillen. Isa Bajaha. Mercedes Beverly Baez. Amy Nicole Balbiers. Sharon Layla Bannerman. Emma Jean Bedford Bordeaux. Daniela Bermudez. Arya Bhargav. Anna Canalizo Kuttner. Joseph Carfora. Carmela Angelique Casabiri. Gabriela Castorena. Arya Natalia Cazo. Elliot Shanazan. Abigail Chang. Trevor Chang. Megan Chen. Ria Chitaki. Yeshi Choden. Miriam Cisse. Rowan Helena Clayton. Christina Gabriela Cole. Carla Koyawaso Pani. Karen Collins. Gemma Crowley. Cheryl Cruz. Jacqueline Phoong Dang. Dominique Dearborn. Natalie Dearborn. Denise Demaliai. Cynthia Diaz. Julie Den. Clara Tao Ni Din Liu. Ariane Janae Dockery. Natalie Patricia Doggett. Lauren Ashley Drysdale. Emily Everding. Nicole Flores. Michaela Ann Fonts. Chloe Freeman. January Geisert. Lily Xiaoping Gibson. Gabriella Katerina Giambroni. Chris Galan. Liana Alexa Jaleo. Judith Hilda Gill. Frankie Nicole Joino. Isabella Nicole Gehring. Araceli Gonzalez. Samantha Kimberly Gonzalez. Hannah Greaves. Shemaya C. Green. Olivia Morgan Gruel. Elisa Guioto Suriga. Maya Danielle Harris. Shiloh Nicole DeSalia Harry. Patricia Hernandez. Kimberly Hilaire. Adrian Shizuko Hino. Molly Ann Hirsch. Tyler Holliday. Ashley Ann Ianacone. Shumaya Islam. Danielle Jackson. Lindsay Marie Jameson. Mark Jean. Makita Johannes. Violetta Yunjai. Angela Kang. Ji Yan Kang. Amanda Lee Karras. Melanie Eve Cavalier. Alexander Christian Kettle. Angelina Coe. Zia Alexandra Isles. Alina Armin Ismail. Kyla Cardenas Jackson. Anne Kraliski van Denberg. Jennifer La. Nicole Loman Labadi. Kirsten LaConti. Rachel Lacan. Vanessa Lancaster. Sonoy Lani Lindsay Lanius. Benjamin Lauren. Karel Leslie. Sarah Rose Louise. Asia Victoria Marie Lynn Cook. Karis Arlen McCuish. Rukshana Majid. Grace Ann McCormick. Riley Mairead McElroy. Francisco Emanuel Mendez. Haley Caroline Merck. Elizabeth May Mesnick. Jessica Josephine Nasser. Thomas Ka Win. Yameli Ortiz. Taylor Nadine Onstadt. Lindsay Mieko Osumi. Lilybeth Panora. Lillian Powell. Michelle Ann Petrucci. Kimberly Hong Fan. Juliette Pluvios Phillip. Ariel Powell. Defina Pulatani. Matthew Ramirez. Isa Marie Ramos. Roanne Raimundo. Sydney Nicole Riebman. Gabriella Tyler Reich. Madeline Ritter. Madeline Grace Ryerson. Crystal Lee Rodriguez. Florisa Limairi Rosales Crespin. Ashley Julissa Rosis Soria. Kania Tierra San. Alisa Sassis. Jennifer Rachel Shapiri. Emma Schweiger. Nina Bergen Shack. Sanjita Yasmin Shannon. Annie Shawn. Erica Marie Sotelo. Dylan Spicer. Lydia Steenman. Elizabeth Ford Sullivan. Tatiana Nicole Spur. Carmina Chloe Tadurin. Sanjita Tamim. Marley Tannenbaum. Tamuna Chalitze. Tiffany Tereshkina. Cynthia Tianco Withers. Daniela Topol. Sophia Michelle Torgerson. Anna Trong. Allison Ewell. Alberto Vasquez. Caitlin Vega. Saskia Natalie Villa. Kaylin Burrowet. Tai Do-Ann Vo. Mitzi Antonia Wedderburn. Savannah Ashley Weinstein. Lejean White. Hannah Whitehead. Leah Raquel Wobrock. Ashley Wu. Anna Wyson. Amy Mickey Yamazaki. Amanda Yee. Emily Lauren Yin. Catherine Joe. Allison Curtis Zimmerman.
Please join me in congratulating the Master's Direct Entry graduates.
This concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us in celebrating our students, our graduates. Please enjoy light refreshments on the first, second, and third floors. I ask that all the guests please remain seated while the graduates exit. Congratulations to each and every one of you all. Now go and change the world. We're waiting on the music. There we go.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Pulled me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash spot, 560 State Street. Catch me in the kitchen like the Simmons whipping pastry. Cruising down A Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me, I'm out that Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my top. Sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. I be spiked out, I can trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I'm most definitely from. Hey. Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. You should know I bleed blue, but I ain't a crypto. But I got a gang of walking with my click though. Welcome to the melting pot. Corners will be selling Africa been by the home of the hip hop. Yellow cap, gypsy cap, dollar cap, holla back. For foreigners it ain't fair, they act like they forgot how to act. 8 million stories out there in the naked city. It's a pity half of y'all won't make it. Me, I got a plug special and I got it made. If Jesus paying LeBron, I'm paying Dwayne Wade. 3 dice CeeLo, 3-card Marley. Labor Day parade, rest in peace Bob Marley. Statue of Liberty, long live the World Trade, long live the King, yo. I'm from the Empire State, that's blinding. Girls need blinders so they could step out of bounds quick. The sidelines is lined with casualties who sip the life casually, then gradually become worse. Don't fight the apple eve, caught up in the in crowd. Now you're in style, and in the winter gets cold, in vogue with your skin out. City of sin, it's a pity on a whim. Good girls going bad, the city's filled with them. Mommy took a bus trip, now she got a bust out. Everybody ride her, just like a bus route. Hail Mary to the city, you're a virgin. And Jesus can't save you, life starts when the church in. Came in for school, graduated to the highlight. Ball players, rap stars, addicted to the limelight. Empty and May got you feeling like a champion. The city never sleeps, better slip you an ambient.
One hand in the air for the big city. watch a melting pot on the corner selling rock. Preachers pray to God. And a gypsy cab takes me down from Harlem to the Brooklyn Bridge. Someone sleeps tonight with the hunger for more than an empty fridge.